Welcome everyone to the Made by Hand Shop. I'm Bobby Sharp. Today I thought I would do something a little different and give you a tour of our 1988 Airstream Excella. So come on in. Alright, well, this is the inside. As you come in the door, there's a kind of an entertainment center. We have a 32-inch Samsung TV that works really great off of digital antenna. Actually, the 32-year-old antenna that's on top of the Airstream that came from the factory. Underneath is a lot of storage. We're not going to talk about a lot of storage. Airstreams are lacking in that area, but we have made some changes to add opportunities for storage, and we'll get to those. And speaking of the limited storage in an Airstream, these are the timbre doors. These were throughout the older Airstreams. This Airstream transitioned over to a more conventional type of cabinet, but there is storage behind these timbre doors. There's a set here in the front and a set back in the bedroom as well. But one of the cool things about an Airstream is this big panel. Right now you probably can't see it on camera, but it's showing the inside temperature, and we can flip that over to the outside temperature. It'll also show us the time. But the big advantage of this panel is it gives us our battery status. It'll show us our curbside and roadside LP tanks, which are in the front. There's a main holding tank, which is the black tank. There's an auxiliary holding tank, which is the gray water from the shower and the sinks. And then there's a freshwater tank as well. This particular Airstream has a 50-gallon or a 55-gallon freshwater tank. This Airstream can be, or this camper can be totally self-contained, meaning we have batteries, we have gas water heater, we have a gas or electric refrigerator. We also have a water pump, so if we have water, the batteries are charged, and we have LP gas, you can have a warm shower, go to the potty, and we'll have cold drinks as well. The only thing that will not run when you're not plugged into shore power is the AC. We would have heat, of course, because it's a gas furnace. Alright, we have made quite a few changes to our Airstream. Mainly the paint and the cabinet colors, and we'll get to that. I will probably put some pictures, before and after pictures, throughout this video, and kind of show you the difference between what it looked like from the factory and what it looks like now. But there was a jackknife sofa here in the front. It was of 1988 decor, so it was a flowery pattern. It was not very comfortable to sit on. I slept on it once and swore I'd never do that again. It was not very comfortable at all to sleep on. We started looking for an alternative sofa, but we could also use as a sleeper. So I'm going to convert this into the bed, let you see how that's done. Forgot about the support legs that are underneath this piece I'm sitting on. This actually is an IKEA couch, and it is heavily modified for this application. Because the Airstream is curved in the front, that made it rather difficult. There's two batteries in the front as well, so the couch sits a little higher than normal. We could not get it to go as far back as it needed to go because of the curvature of the front. The other caveat to this is the front angles in as well. So that limited the amount of space we could slide this toward the front. There is an advantage to this though. I mentioned that Airstreams don't have very much storage. This couch has a lot of storage built in. You may be able to see that. This whole area right here is open. So we can put all the pillows down here. There's stuff in it, of course. So I'll fold it back up and show you some additional storage. And just like that, it's put away. Now, because we had to raise the couch up to get it over the batteries, which stuck out about 16 to 18 inches into the cab, we had quite a bit of area. Normally this sits on the floor right here. So we had an opportunity to be able to add 3 drawers underneath the bottom. Now they're not that deep, but you can store quite a bit of drop cords, picnic table cloth, some grilling utensils, and we put our cornhole bags in here as well. Lights for the awning. So that was quite an extra little surprise that came about, instead of just wasting that 6 inches underneath the couch altogether. In addition, the original couch had a cushion similar to this, but this is all open, so we can store quite a few tall items in this cavity on each side. There's one on the roadside of the camper as well. So basically all I did was took the end caps that bolted to the couch, pulled out that material off, cut out some boards, made a false front, and we reused all the material off of the 2 sides for the couch, including covering a pad for the armrest on the couch. And there's, like I said, there's one on the roadside of the coach as well. So very cool. IKEA couch, and the couch was $499, something like that. We would have probably spent at least that on having the old jackknife sofa recovered and somehow or another figure out how to pad it better and things like that. So this was the better choice, and we gained space, storage space underneath it. The old couch did have storage space, but not near as much as this. Okay, and while we're here in the front still, I did have to cut this short little shelf which supports the table, the dining table, went back farther, about to the end of the window here, and I wanted to keep this table, so I cut this down on the table saw and reinstalled it for this table. And this table will slide a little bit, but it has a leg on it so we can eat on it. But the cool thing is it is expandable. So there's a leaf that's underneath here. You might be able to see that through the gap here. There's the leaf is down here, And I made a better way to secure this so it didn't slide all over the place while we were traveling. And we also use these knockdown ottomans to store items in, like the coffee maker. There's one on my side as well. And if we have guests over while we're eating, you can sit on this and sit at the table. So it's dual purpose, triple purpose. A stool, storage, and a foot ottoman. And we have two of those. All right, so moving over to the kitchen, or the galley, as some folks would like to call this. There's a 4-burner stove along with an oven. We have a divided sink. These laminated covers are just to give you extra work surface, since if you needed the sink but you were cutting vegetables or something like that, you could use this side to do that, or you can remove both of them and have the sink wide open. So most RVs have this. Originally the Airstream had a spice rack here with another timber door that was made out of oak. We took that out. When you fold up the top here to the cooktop, this would shield the heat from the spice rack. So we took that out. It also had like a wallpaper background here, and I took that out. It was actually attached to a very thin piece of veneer plywood, and there was no skin behind this. So this is a piece of aluminum that I went and purchased, cut that out, and actually riveted it over the hole where there was no interior aluminum sheet. I took these down and then took the doors off, of course, and then painted them individually. That way I could paint the ceiling, which goes inside of this. There's no top to the cabinet. This is the first time I ever used chalk paint. My wife insisted that we try this. I did not sand these oak cabinets. It took about 3 coats to cover it, and then we went back and put polyurethane over the chalk paint. Not everything is finished in this Airstream. We originally started with the wax over this, and over time it just soaked right up into the wood, and so the polyurethane is what we went back with over this, and it gives it a nice little sheen to it, and it looks really, really nice. But I had a hard time painting over that beautiful red oak that was in here. They were stained a dark red oak color. The ceiling has wallpaper on it. It had a kind of a pattern to it, but there is a texture which is really nice. And I painted the ceiling with Kills first, and then went back with an interior satin latex paint over that. And it took several coats. I also added the aluminum to the side of the pantry here. This had that same wallpaper on this as well. Getting back to the storage situation, when we purchased the Airstream, this was pretty much, these 2 drawers were here, and down at the bottom here there was access to a duct that ran. The furnace is actually located underneath the oven, and there was a piece of duct work that runs underneath this cabinet, and it had a little flip up plywood lid, and I pulled that out one day and realized that there was 2 feet of space underneath this cabinet. So I built this drawer that goes back into that cavity that was not being used before. So we gained all of this space. Not to mention, this does have a back on it because there are some other mechanical things behind here. The wheel well is part of that as well. This is probably, I don't know, a foot deep, but it's nice because we can put bottles and things that don't need to tip over in here, and they're kind of captive in this little area once you close the door. So we added that drawer. That really added a lot of space, or a lot of storage to the camper. There's also plumbing underneath here. Of course, the P-trap for the sink and things like that. So that's taking up some of the room as well. All right, and then moving over across from the galley is the refrigerator. This is a 1988 Dometic, and it works perfect. It cools really nice. And here's a tip for you if you are a new RVer. I would invest in one of these. This is an AccuBrite thermometer. It actually has 2 sensors, one for the refrigerator and one for the freezer. All right, some other concerns about storage. Underneath the fridge, I built, the cavity was still here. This front actually had hinges on it, and it just folded down. So it was very hard. We kept a basket in here and kind of kept all of our Tupperware type storage bins in here. So I made this drawer, and we rearranged and put pots in here and moved the Tupperware stuff elsewhere. But this is a very big drawer. It's just 1/2-inch plywood, and I reused the front and just took the hinges off and screwed the front to the drawer box. And there you go. This needs soft close drawer slides on it to help it stay closed while we're traveling. And while I'm down here, I will mention the flooring. This had carpet on the floor. We had to do some subfloor repair because of water damage. So the carpet, I pulled the carpet up, fixed the floors, and then put the carpet and the pad back down, unless the pad or carpet was in bad shape, which it really wasn't. So we kind of did this in the front half because we were camping and didn't want to be without the camper. So we kind of did the front half of the camper and then the back half as far as the flooring and the subfloor repair is concerned. But this is a pre-finished 100% bamboo product. It does not have any MDF in it at all, which is not conducive for moisture and things of that nature. This is a pretty durable. Bamboo is very hard, but this is 3/8 of an inch thick. It is heavy. We did add some weight to the camper by installing this, but we felt like it was a great investment. It was kind of expensive, but it's just glued straight down to the subfloor. There are some nails in some places where the subfloor had kind of changed shape over the years. But that is a bamboo product from Home Depot. All right, so we're moving back into the pantry. We have a microwave here. This microwave was actually on this level with a small shelf up top. Wasted space in the back, so I moved the shelf up. Got the microwave mounted up in this position. It's kind of awkward as high as it is, but it's in a lot better place. We have a lot more storage in the pantry in this cubby right here. We have drawers. These are original to the camper. There's one here and one here. Here's that Tupperware stuff I was telling you about. And then this door flips out. This is actually an access to the plumbing, the low point drains, and the sensors for all the tanks. But this is kind of the door underneath the fridge. This is the way it was hinged. So we did replace all the hinges and hardware, or the pulls, throughout the camper as well. I still have a few to install, mainly on these two doors, because they were different hinges than what we had ordered. All right, so now the camera is in the bedroom. You are looking forward, and this is the wardrobe. We're still on the same side of the camper as the galley and the pantry. And when you open these doors, it has lights that come on internally. I don't know if that one will open far enough, but it has mirrors, and the back is cedar lined, and it smells like cedar as well. But this is the entry to the bathroom. There is a toilet right here, and we have a shower. Most of this is original. I have not had a chance to get in here and work on this, but there is a shower. We've changed the shower head, put in a shower curtain and an outer decorative shower curtain as well. And this rod swings in and out to give you added space in the bathroom, because it is rather small and tight. I want to line the shower with aluminum like the backsplash is in the galley. I think that would look really good. The new Airstreams do not have, they have the bare aluminum on the inside. But I would like to put aluminum in the shower, both on the back wall and on this ceiling piece, and then epoxy paint the fiberglass catch basin so it's white. Instead, it is this yellow color. It's supposed to be white, but UV light has obviously changed the color over the years. All right, this is kind of tight in here, but at one point there was a very large vanity cabinet here. It was that fiberglass, real thick plastic. It had a big mirror on it. It had a lot of storage in it, but it was so dominating here in the bathroom. It actually came down in front of the window. There was two lights on each side, and we decided that it would be better if we just took that out, and I made a shelf for that. These have kind of the chamfer on each side that matches the other wood vanity or wood valances that are throughout the camper as well. Now, Rust-Oleum makes a paint that, I can just show you the inside of our, this medicine cabinet was actually yellow like the rest of the plastic throughout the camper, and I painted that with that Rust-Oleum paint, and then put everything back together. And to me it looks factory. I really like that Rust-Oleum paint. It really works out nice. And there is storage underneath the sink, both in the front and the back. And then on the bottom, there is two access panels for the water heater. All right, and now we come to the bedroom of the camper. It's two standard size twin beds. They are curved because of the nature of the shape of the Airstream. You get used to that after a while. We have our heads toward the curved part. Hopefully at one point we're going to upgrade the mattresses. These are original to the camper. This camper was untouched. Nothing was done to it. It was like a time capsule. And that's really what we wanted, was something that was used, but yet it was in great shape, and no one had come in and done some crazy upgrades. And most people will take these things and gut them and then realize, oh my gosh, what have I done? And they wind up ruining probably something that was really nice to begin with. Now, there are people who know what they're doing, and they gut the inside and they go back and they finish the project. That's a whole different ball game there. But these people who think, well, I can do that, and they start out by gutting the entire Airstream, and then you see a lot of those for sale. And it's just sad, because all of that good interior parts were probably thrown away in a dumpster because they knew they weren't going to use it. When we bought this camper, it was camp ready, and we worked on it a little bit along, and we really love it. It's a perfect size for our tow vehicle. I've weighed the camper with most of our gear in it, less food and clothing. I think it weighed right at 6,400 pounds, a little over 6,400 pounds. The maximum that this camper can weigh, fully loaded, that's with water and everything, is 6,800 pounds. So, and it's a lot of fun. I wish I knew it was this easy to tow something this large and this heavy. It is dangerous. Obviously, people are crazy, but if you take your time and you look ahead and you're cautious, it's just like driving a normal vehicle. If I'd have known it was this gratifying and easy, I would have done this when I was a lot younger, because we really enjoy it. Well, if you enjoyed today's video, I would appreciate that you would give us a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing. And as always, be all you can be, but best of all, be sharp. Stay safe in your camper, everyone.